In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the waffle stitch to create a washcloth or a dishcloth. Coming up next. Hi, I'm Diette, and welcome to Turtle Creativity, where we make crafting and crocheting easy. I am really excited about today's project because today we're going to be making washcloths, or you can use them for your dishes. You can even turn them into a pot holder. This project uses one of my favorite stitches, and that is the waffle stitch. I love how the waffle stitch creates this beautiful pattern within your project. Now, if you're going to use this project for a washcloth or for a dishcloth, I recommend that you use 100% cotton for your yarn. Okay, so what do you need for this project? Yarn, of course. I'll be using this yarn that has an ombre effect. It's a slow changing ombre that goes from light to dark green. You'll also need a crochet hook. I'll be using the size letter I. You'll need a yarn needle and some scissors. I'm rolling up my sleeves a tad, and I am so ready to get crocheting now. So we're going to get started with creating our washcloth or dishcloth, whatever you decide to use this pattern for. We're going to get started with creating this project. Now we're going to start out with chaining 34, and if you need a refresher on how to chain, I did do a tutorial. So right here is a tutorial on how to chain. So let's go ahead and do 34 chains. Well, my 34 chains is now complete. One thing that I want to tell you is that when you're working in the waffle stitch, you are working in increments of 3. So if you want to increase your washcloth or decrease your washcloth or dish towel, you would do that using the calculations of multiples of 3. Once you get to the size that you desire, using the increments of 3, you will add 4 more chains. So there will be 2 extra chains on one side and 2 extra chains on the other side. And this will create that wonderful waffle stitch, as well as kind of give you a little edging border on the side. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put a double crochet in each one of our chain spaces. So counting down the second chain space from our hook, so 1, 2, we're going to put a double crochet in this space, making sure that you go up under both loops, pull up. 1, 2 is on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, now moving on to our next space. Yarn over, insert our hook, making sure we go up under both loops, pull through. 3 loops is on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we're going to continue doing that, adding a double crochet in each one of our stitches, and I'm going to meet you when we get to the second to last chain space. So double crochet in each one of your chain spaces. So now we're to the last 2 chain spaces. What we're going to do is we're going to put a double crochet in this last chain space right here. So yarn over, insert our hook, making sure we go up under both of those loops, pull up. 3 loops is on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, And in this last chain space, I'm going to put 3 chains into this space. So inserting my hook, again, making sure I'm up under both of those little V's. Going to pull up, so that chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. Okay, so there are all of my double crochets done. My foundation chain is complete. I'm now going to go ahead and turn my work. Okay, now with my work turn, I'm going to begin to build my waffle stitches. I really like this stitch. It just gives your pattern, your project, just a different look and feel, and it's definitely nice, especially if you're using 100% cotton. It creates definitely a nice warm feel to your project. Okay, so what we're going to do is in this first space right here, we're going to go ahead and put a double crochet in this first chain space. Okay, so I think you can see that right there. We're going to put a double crochet right there. So yarn over, insert your hook, 3 loops is on your hook, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do a front post double crochet. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our hook and you're going to wrap it around that post right here. So that first double crochet, we're going to wrap our hook around this post. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, so wrapping it around, yarn over, pull through that post. Okay, 3 loops is on your hook, and you're now going to finish a double crochet like you would always do. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. What this does is it pushes that post to the front, and that's what we need when we're creating the waffle stitch. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we're working in increments of 3. So this is going to count as our first portion in our pattern. And now to create 2 and 3, we're going to do a double crochet as normal on top of our stitches. So yarn over, insert our hook into the next chain space, and pull up. 3 loops is on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so now you can see you have a post that's pushed out in the front, and now we have one that is now sunken in. And this continual pattern is going to create this waffle effect. So we need to do another double crochet on top. So yarn over, insert your hook in the next chain space on top, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so that's our first 3 stitches for our pattern. Now we're ready to move on to repeat what we just did. So we're going to yarn over, doing our front post double crochet, inserting up under that post, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, now we've pushed that post out in front. Okay, yarn over, we're going to go into the top of the next 2 stitches and just do a regular double crochet. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, so now repeat again. So we're going to yarn over, go around up under that post, pull through, 3 loops is on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and now again 2 double crochets on top of the chains. So yarn over, insert our hook in, yarn over and pull through, okay? And we're going to do another one. All right, so this is our waffle stitch, and we're going to continue all the way down to the end, and I'll meet you when we get to the last two stitches, and then we'll go ahead and move on to row 2. So continue doing that, and I'll meet you at the end. So for our last 2 spaces, I'm going to yarn over to a front post double crochet. Okay. And then on the top of this last chain, I'm going to put 3 chains in that space. And then I'm going to turn my work. Okay. All right. So now for row 3. I'm going to yarn over, and in this first space, chain space, I'm going to go ahead and put a double crochet in this space right here. Okay. Now, when we started our first row, so let's flip it back over. We started with going through the front post and creating that front post double crochet. And then our next 2 spaces, we did a regular double crochet. So when we're working on the opposite side, we're actually going to reverse that. So instead of doing another front post double crochet, I am actually going to do a double crochet on top of this stitch, which will then create our waffle pattern to alternate one after another. So we're not going to do a front post. We're actually going to do a double crochet on top. So yarn over, insert your hook in on top, double crochet. Okay. Now our next 2 spaces where when we first did round 2, we did on top, we're actually going to do a front post. So yarn over, front post double crochet. Okay. Yarn over, front post double crochet. Okay. And this is where we actually can really see that waffle pattern beginning to build. So moving on to our next 3, we're going to repeat. So double crochet on top, going through the next 2 would be front post double crochets. So yarn over, insert our hook, double crochet on top, yarn over, for our front post double crochet. Let's do that one again. So yarn over, wrapping around that post, okay, and the next one. All right. And again, you could begin to see that waffle pattern beginning to build. Let's do one more together. So yarn over, we're going to insert on top, regular double crochet, and we're going to go through these 2 posts right here as front double crochets that we're going to do. Front post double crochet 1, front post double crochet 2. Okay, and now we're just going to repeat that all the way down to the end. When you get to the end, your last chain, you're going to put a chain of 3 and you're going to turn your work. I'll meet you when you get to putting your last 3 chains into this chain space, and I'll meet you when we get there. So for our last chain space, we're going to put 3 chains into this space. So that's 1, 2, 3. And we're going to turn our work. So what we're going to do now is alternate these 2 rows. So we're going to put a double crochet into this first chain space. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right, a front double crochet, and then 2 double crochets on top. Okay, so we're going to repeat that pattern all the way down. When we get to the end, we're going to chain up 3 and we'll turn our work. And then we'll do the opposite. We'll put a regular double crochet on top of the chain, and then we'll put 2 front posts in the next 2 spaces. We're going to go ahead and continue that waffle stitch for 8 more rows. So for 8 more rows, you're going to alternate back and forth doing this, creating this waffle stitch, and then you're going to get this beautiful waffle stitch pattern that will appear. And then once you've got all of your 10 rows of waffle stitches, I'll meet you right at the last row so that we can finish our washcloth or dishcloth or whatever you're going to use this. We're going to finish it off together. So again, go ahead and alternate those rows. For me, I have a total of 8 more to do. So once we've done that, I'll meet you at the end of the last stitch, and then we'll do our border together. So now we're ready to do the last 2 stitches in the 11th row. So what we're going to do is a front double crochet. So what we're going to do is yarn over, insert the hook around this post, yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right. Now for the last chain space, we're going to put 3 chains into this space, making sure that you go up under both loops, and I did. Yarn over, pull through. That's 1, chain 2, chain 3. Okay, so this ends our row 11, and it also ends us doing the waffle stitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the last row, which is our 12th row, and this row is just double crochets in each one of the stitches. So we're no longer creating the waffle pattern. We're just going to go ahead and put the finishing of the double crochets on the top. So what we need to do is turn your work, yarn over, and we're still going to insert into this very first chain space right here, and we're going to put a double crochet. Okay, and now on top of each one of our chain spaces, so all of these spaces right here, you can see the little V's, we're going to go through both loops and we're going to put a double crochet in each one of those chain spaces, and that will create our finishing look to distinguish itself from our waffle crochet. So let's go ahead and do that. So insert our hook in, double crochet. All right, insert our hook in, yarn over, insert our hook in, double crochet. All right, and we're going to continue to do that all the way down, and I'll meet you when we get to the end. So now we have come to the last 2 stitches of our project, and in this second to last stitch we're going to put a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook in, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now for this last chain space, we're going to put 2 chains into this space. So we're going to go ahead and pull through 1 chain, and then we're going to finish off with our last chain. Go ahead and pull up, and you can go ahead and cut your yarn. Okay, now we've completed our project. So now we need to go and just sew in our ends. So you can go ahead and do that with either your hook or a yarn needle. Go ahead and do that now. Here is our complete washcloth or dishcloth. I'll see you in the next one, and subscribe for more.